your kind of company.
Tonight on Ctv3 News, major drug bust in Orange Walk. 3 men arrested and are expected to be charged after police discovered more than 160 pounds of weed in the vehicle they were traveling in. Texas financial officer released on bail after fatal golf cart incident in Belize involving fiancé. October inflation rises to 2.1%, driven by food and rent increases. And Belize welcomes FO4ACP team, strengthening small farmer organizations for enhanced livelihoods and sustainable agriculture. These are some of the stories we have for you tonight in our newscast for Thursday, December 12, 2024.
The Honorable John Briceño and Mrs. Rosanna Briceño request your presence at the first ever Prime Minister's Christmas concert to be held at the Open Air Plaza of the Banquitas House of Culture in Orange Walk Town on December 13th at 7 p.m. Join us for a night of beautiful music and company as together we celebrate the joy and fellowship of the Christmas season. Music will be provided by Belize's renowned National Choir and Ensemble, comprised of the Golden Voices Choir, directed by Giselle O'Brien, and the UB Chorale, directed by Alexander Evans. Remember, it's the Banquitas House of Culture Open Air Plaza on Friday, December 13th at 7 p.m. It'll be an amazing and unforgettable night of music and love, and of course, our special guest, Santa Claus. All are welcome. We'll see you there.
This the season to be jolly, and this Christmas we're making your holiday even brighter. Get ready for Center's annual countdown to Mega Christmas Bram, a holiday extravaganza where you can win amazing prizes, play fun games, and experience the magic of Christmas like never before. Join us at the Orange Walk Central Park from December 2nd to the 13th as of 8 p.m. Viewers at home, you also have the opportunity to win too. All you need to do is tune in and play along. This Christmas, let us bring the magic of the season to you with Centaur's annual countdown to Mega Christmas Bram, where the spirit of Christmas shines bright. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year from Centaur Communications Corporation Limited. Are you ready to light up the holiday season? Join us for Centaur's annual Christmas parade on December 14th. It's the perfect way to celebrate with your community and create lasting memories. Whether you're participating with a float, marching with a group, or simply coming to spectate, there's a place for everyone to enjoy the magic of the holidays. Call 670-9177 to register free of cost. Happy holidays from Centaur Communications Corporation Limited.
Good evening. With your news also simulcast on Fiesta FM 106.7, I am Joanna Rodriguez. In a significant drug bust earlier today, 3 men were taken into custody after Orange Walk police discovered a large quantity of marijuana near Douglas Village. The men, whose identities remain undisclosed pending formal charges, were apprehended during a routine patrol that turned into a major drug enforcement operation. Authorities report that the men were found 4 garbage bags containing what is believed to be approximately 160 pounds of marijuana. The exact street value of the confiscated drugs has not been released. Following their arrest, the suspects were transported to the Orange Walk police station, where they are currently being processed. Police have stated that further investigations are underway to determine the source of the drugs and whether additional individuals may be involved. A Texas financial officer vacationing in Belize is out on a $10,000 bail after being charged in connection with the death of his fiancée, Jennifer Dawn Hernandez, 40. The tragic incident occurred on Friday, December 6, 2024, on Secret Beach Road, San Pedro Town. Isaac Jeremy Flores, 39, was allegedly driving a red club golf cart with his fiancée as a passenger when the vehicle hit a bump, causing Hernandez to fall and sustain fatal injuries. Flores was subsequently charged with 4 traffic offenses: causing death by careless conduct, reckless driving, driving without due care and attention, and failing to provide a specimen for analysis. Appearing in San Pedro Magistrates Court on Monday, December 9, 2024, Flores was represented by renowned attorney Richard Dickey Bradley. Prosecutors opposed bail, arguing that Flores posed a flight risk and that police evidence against him was strong. However, Bradley successfully persuaded Magistrate Terrell Brown to grant bail under the condition that Flores provides Belizean sureties. Bradley acted quickly to secure Flores' release, allowing him to remain free while awaiting trial. Police allege that alcohol consumption may have been a factor in the incident, although this remains unconfirmed. Speaking briefly to the press before boarding a flight back to San Pedro, Flores expressed his grief and noted that he has yet to contact Hernandez's family in the U.S. to assist with funeral arrangements. The couple was among a group of 24 tourists visiting Belize. Flores is scheduled to return to court in the coming weeks as the investigation continues. On Wednesday, the Statistical Institute of Belize, SIB, hosted their final press conference for the year to present Belize's current economic status in areas of external trade, consumer sentiments, and the overall economy. Today, we start off by taking a look at the gross domestic product for the third quarter of 2024, which shows that Belize's economy grew during the period July to September. According to data presented by the SIB, Belize's economy expanded by 6.6%, or $75.6 million, to $1.3 billion compared to the same period in 2023, when it stood at $1.15 billion. The primary sector, including agriculture, recorded improvements in key crops such as bananas, citrus, and sugarcane. The fishing industry also grew by 25.5%, with production rising from 447.1 thousand pounds to 560.9 thousand pounds. The secondary sector, covering industries like manufacturing and construction, grew by 3.3% due mainly to an increase in the production of electricity due to higher rainfall during the period. The largest contributor to overall growth was the tertiary sector. The sector includes services like trade, tourism, and transportation, and it grew by 9%.
So let's begin. Looking at the third quarter, which is July to September of 2024, goods and services produced totaled $1.23 billion. This is an increase of $75.6 million, or 6.6%, when we compare that to the third quarter of 2023, which was at $1.15 billion. Within the three sectors, looking at primary, we went from 71.4 million in quarter 3 of 2023 to 72.4 million, which is a 1.5% change, or $1 million. Going to secondary, we went from 164 million to 169.4 million, a 3.3% change, or 5.4 million. And then tertiary at 739.8 million to 806.3 million, or 9% change, which is $66.4 million in difference. So as we can observe, we saw growth across all three sectors. Now, looking at the 6.6% growth, we can look at the industry contribution to that growth, and we see that the main drivers were in the tertiary sector, at wholesale and retail trade, transportation, and accommodation and food service activities, having the highest contribution out of the tertiary sector. And then looking at the secondary, we see that electricity was the main driver for growth in secondary at 0.4%, contributing to the entire 6.6%.
Turning now to the country's overall inflation rate for the month of October, the Statistical Institute is reporting a 2.1% rise. The National Consumer Price Index CPI increased to 119.7, up from 117.2 in October 2023. This jump is largely attributed to higher costs for food, restaurant services, and home rental prices. Fuel prices and certain communication equipment saw a decline. Costs in the food and non-alcoholic beverages category increased by 4.7%. This was driven by increases in the prices of fresh vegetables, fruits, and bakery items. Notable increases were recorded in prices for fresh vegetables and pulses such as cabbage, lettuce, black beans, and red kidney beans. Higher rent and dining out costs were also recorded. The restaurants and accommodation services category saw an increase of 4.9%. Home rental prices contributed to a 1.5% rise in the housing, water, electricity, gas, and other fuels category. However, lower fuel prices contributed to transport prices decreasing by 3%. The cost of diesel dropped by $1.55 per gallon, which both premium and regular gasoline prices fell as well. Belmopan experienced the highest inflation, reflecting an increase of 5% in prices, while Independence Village had the lowest. It recorded a nearly flat inflation rate of -3%. For the first 10 months of 2024, the year-to-date inflation rate stood at 3.5%. Looking at the overall inflation rate for the last 10 months of the year, the SIB is reporting an increase of 3.5% when compared to the same period last year.
So for the first 10 months in 2024, the cost of goods and services purchased by household increased by 3.5%. when compared to the same period in 2023. But before we look at the major categories that contributed to this increase, let's look at the monthly inflation rate from October 2020 to October 2024. We can observe a period of low and stable inflation near 0% from October 2019 to October 2020. After that, there was a steep rise reaching to 6.7% in late 2022. After that, inflation gradually decreased, dropping to 2.1% in October 2024. And I must say that even though inflation is lower, this does not mean that prices are decreasing, but that they are increasing at a more slowly rate. Now, coming back to the year-to-date inflation rate of 3.5%, let's look at the major categories that contributed to this increase. First, the food and non-alcoholic beverage category rose by 5.8%. Restaurants and accommodation services rose by 8.4%. and housing, water, electricity, gas, and other fuels rose by 2.3%.
Coming up next, Curacao police officers celebrate a year of dedication during Christmas Gala. Stay tuned.
And Mrs. Rosana Briceño request your presence at the first ever Prime Minister's Christmas concert to be held at the Open Air Plaza of the Banquitas House of Culture in Orange Walk Town on December 13th at 7 p.m. Join us for a night of beautiful music and company as together we celebrate the joy and fellowship of the Christmas season. Music will be provided by Belize's renowned National Choir and Ensemble, comprised of the Golden Voices Choir, directed by Giselle O'Brien, and the UB Chorale, directed by Alexander Evans. Remember, it's the Banquitas House of Culture Open Air Plaza on Friday, December 13th at 7 p.m. It'll be an amazing and unforgettable night of music and love, and of course, our special guest, Santa Claus. All are welcome. We'll see you there.
Are you ready to light up the holiday season? Join us for Centaur's annual Christmas parade on December 14th. It's the perfect way to celebrate with your community and create lasting memories. Whether you're participating with a float, marching with a group, or simply coming to spectate, there's a place for everyone to enjoy the magic of the holidays. Call 670-9177 to register free of cost. Happy holidays from Centaur Communications Corporation Limited.
Good morning, Mr. Conway.
What makes it good, Jeff? You made it.
It's been a bit of a rough day, Dad.
I'm sorry. I have to go talk to someone important.
We're always too busy working. You don't know what I need. You never have.
Today could not end soon enough. Hate this song.
Merry Christmas, Brian.
Am I dead?
Pretty much.
Let me have a second chance.
I'll give you 12 days to get it right.
I'm gonna make this the merriest Christmas Eve anybody has ever seen.
That was quick. Christmas is about giving.
What's going on?
Can't talk. Gotta go save the world.
Wait for me!
What has gotten into you?
Love. And maybe a little bit of that spiked eggnog. I'm gonna figure this out. I'm gonna make her love me again. No matter what happens, I love you. Oh, come on! I'm not giving up.
The 12 Days of Christmas Eve.
Over the weekend, the Ministry of Agriculture, Food Security and Enterprise hosted an official ceremony to welcome a team of specialists from the FO4ACP program, which is Farmers Organization for Africa, Caribbean and Pacific program, which is a food and agriculture organization of the UN project being executed by Procasur, a global organization specializing in rural knowledge management and rural innovation. The team is currently in Belize meeting with 9 different small farmer organizations from across the country who are beneficiaries of the project. FO4ACP Global Learning Route aims to increase the incomes and improve the livelihoods, food and nutrition security, and safety of organized smallholders and family farmers by strengthening local farmers' organizations. The technical team was in Orange Walk today meeting with the Orange Walk Beekeepers Cooperative. Today's session included technical discussions as well as field visits to different farms within the cooperative.
Fundamental para que todas las inversiones de apoyo que se hacen desde el mundo público, el mundo privado, sean sostenibles. Apoyar a la agricultura o a los pequeños productores en realidad es apoyar la mesa con todos los alimentos que todo el mundo consume, y detrás de cada producto hay una familia, hay una agricultora y una agricultora que trata de cuidar la naturaleza por darnos los mejores productos para nuestras familias y para los consumidores. Entonces, apoyar a la pequeña agricultura es apoyar en definitiva la calidad de los alimentos que nos servimos todos los días, 3 veces al día por lo menos.
Today's interaction with the farmers in Orange Walk, according to Global Coordinator for Procasur, Juan Moreno, seeks to share the importance of opportunities, challenges, and public policies to enhance small producer enterprises' inclusion into value chains within the country.
Es una experiencia de aprendizaje en que en realidad nosotros llevamos ya 3 o 4 años trabajando con asociaciones de pequeños productores, como digo, hombres y mujeres de Belice y de otros países, otros territorios, y se ha acumulado una cantidad de capacidades, habilidades dentro de los líderes de las organizaciones, dentro de los grupos de mujeres. Le damos mucha relevancia al tema de los jóvenes, tenemos agricultores envejecidos, y creo que Belice hoy día tiene varias, yo la llamo joyas, en términos de capacidades, conocimiento y buenas prácticas que ayudan a mejorar la agricultura, la producción agrícola, cuidar el clima, con toda la complejidad que sabemos que eso genera. Y Belice recibió ahora a otros líderes de organizaciones de Asia-Pacífico, de América del Sur, de otras islas y regiones del Caribe, y vinieron a aprender de los avances y progresos que hemos tenido con 4 asociaciones de este país, y también ellos traen sus soluciones, porque confiamos en que la gente cuando se junta y comparte sus soluciones se puede cambiar más rápido. Y nos dedicamos precisamente a eso, a que el conocimiento viaje, que las buenas prácticas de Asia, por ejemplo, lleguen a Belice. Te voy a dar un ejemplo muy concreto: mujer y ahorro, ¿sí? Los asiáticos tienen una buena estrategia, creo que hay mucho que se podría aprender de ahí para Belice, y Belice también está proponiendo sus soluciones.
The inclusion of technology in small farms, according to Moreno, will also ensure the sustainability and growth of smaller sectors within different countries, including Belize.
Solo una precisión: nosotros trabajamos con el sector agrícola, el sector rural, y específicamente con los sectores más pequeños, ¿sí? Nuestro foco es la pequeña producción, sea de productos agropecuarios, apicultura, tenemos gente que acá está haciendo artesanía, y efectivamente creo que en estos 3 o 4 años, en coordinación con las distintas instituciones que por un lado nos facilitan trabajar con ellos, llámese el Ministerio de Agricultura, la financiación que proviene del Fondo Internacional de Desarrollo Agrícola, la colaboración con FAO, nos ha permitido impulsar procesos de innovación que tú los puedes mirar en las distintas regiones del país, desde mejorar los sistemas de riego, fertirriego, optimizar el uso del agua. Vamos a tener soluciones de hidroponía que permiten probar un sistema productivo altamente eficiente desde el punto de vista del cambio climático. También estamos trabajando con jóvenes para desarrollar servicios asociados a fumigación, carga a través de drones de alta capacidad. También estamos trabajando con jóvenes agricultores, inteligencia artificial, utilizando para eso información de cámaras espectrales que se montan en drones, y por ejemplo uso de sensores para mejorar la producción agrícola y el conocimiento del suelo y los recursos naturales que están siempre presentes en las actividades productivas. Creo que ahí hay un capital que Belice está acumulando y que lo puede poner al servicio de otros pequeños agricultores y también de otros actores interesados.
Final visit for the team will be on Friday with the Bomba United Farmers Cooperative in Bomba Village in the Belize district. Last night, the Corozal Police Formation celebrated its second annual Police Christmas Ball at the Princess Hotel and Casino in Corozal, marking a festive occasion filled with joy and camaraderie. Officers traded their customary khaki and blue uniforms for more festive attire, embracing the spirit of the season with smiles and laughter throughout the evening. The event not only served as a celebration but also highlighted the dedication and hard work of the officers, as several were recognized for their outstanding contribution during the year 2024. Our news team was present to cover the event, and Elmer Cornejo has filed the following report.
In a spirited display of gratitude and recognition, the Corozal Police Formation gathered last night at the Charisma nightclub for their annual Christmas celebration. The event, themed around the share and camaraderie, served as a fitting tribute to the dedicated officers who have gone above and beyond in their duties throughout 2024. Dressed in their finest attire, the officers were in high spirits as they came together to honor their peers for exemplary service. Superintendent Elroy Carcamo, the officer in charge of the Corozal Police Formation, expressed his delight at hosting the event for the second consecutive year.
So today, our police officers, Corozal, your police officers, are celebrating a Christmas ball. Police have been working very hard since the ending of last year, coming into this year. And there have been several activities, and whilst the community get a chance to celebrate, our officers have to work out there. For example, the 21st, Easter time. And so this Christmas time, we are at very early. We have our police officers coming together from different units. We have community policing unit, domestic violence unit, the GI3 unit, special branch, CIB, the works. All of our police officers from Corozal Police Formation is here at Charisma for the Christmas ball, where they are going to be awarded for the hard work that they have done over the past year, and they're also going to be given the opportunity to express themselves, free up themselves after a hard day's work. I must say a special thank you to all my police officers who have supported me and who have supported their community over the past year. It has not been a very easy task, but they came out, and with the little resources but willpower, we have managed, and we continue to work to be a better formation. I want to thank each and every one of them, my deputies, who, when I call on them, they come out and they do what they're supposed to do. The station manager, who is considered the bad person at the station because she deals with discipline. And you know what discipline is done? People do not like that. But the station manager has done a wonderful job. My relief commanders, my substation personnel. And also I must say thanks to the officers from the police headquarters who have came to Corozal area, who support us in special operations such as the MIT, the SPU, the anti-narcotics team, the GI3 team. I must say thank you to all of them for coming out. But most of all, I need to say thanks to the community for always supporting and working with us. Thank you very much. Thanks to the media for being part of what is happening. For this year, we have several officers that have been retired, 2 police officers and 2 civilian staff. And so we are going to be awarding them and recognizing them for the hard work that they have given to the community over the past year. Some of them have 30 plus years that they have been working and serving. They will be awarded. We also have awards for different category or police officers that have been working hard during the year. So we will have a special award, which will be Officer of the Year award. We'll be awarding police officers who went out there on their duty and dealt with the situation promptly, brought arrest and conviction in the court. We're also going to be awarding those police officers who we have seen change over the year, who came in and yes, they were working, but they were not doing to the high potential or full potential. And so we have talked to them and we have seen where they have increased and they have done well. And so they will be awarded as well. We have police officers that will be awarded by their unit. Some of the unit commanders saw some of these officers, the opportunity to give them an award for the hard work that they have been doing. And so you will see that the domestic violence unit will be issuing award. And we had some police officers who went on training, defensive tactics training. They will also be given award during this ceremony.
2 officers who were particularly celebrated for their outstanding contributions shared their experiences.
I was astonished tonight that I received the award of appreciation from the Corozal Police Formation, but it only speaks volume that the community of Corozal has recognized my hard work.
I am presently working here at the Corozal Police Formation, and I am one of the court orderlies at this formation. I have been living here in Corozal for almost 5 years, and I am glad to be recognized.
Superintendent Carcamo stated that next year, there will be an opportunity for more officers to be recognized if they implement the practices demonstrated by their colleagues.
Well, everybody is a winner, but there's only few that can be rewarded. And so those that did not receive an award today, I will tell them not to lose focus. I always live on this. Do not work for recognition, but do work worthy of recognition. And when you do work worthy of recognition, your time will come and you will be awarded. When you least expect it, it will come. Well, morale plays a vital role, and building the morale of our officers will assist us to ensure that we get conviction, will assist us to ensure, most of all, that we have good quality professional working relationship with our community. This event today is not the sole work of the police, it's the work of the community. Our police officers are enjoying today because the community is making them enjoying today. It is a community that donated most of everything that you will see today here. And I would like to thank the community for that.
The evening was further enriched by the presence of distinguished guests including Neri Ramirez, Chair Executive Officer of the Corozal Commercial Free Zone, and Thea Garcia Ramirez, PUP Standard Bearer for Corozal Bay, who sponsored the festive gathering.
Well, I was very humbled and honored at the same time to have been invited to the Police Ball 2024, and they take the opportunity to honor retired police officers and civilians who've worked with the police department, and also to recognize police men and women who shine for outstanding service to their communities. So I was invited to come over and help them celebrate, and I am really, really ecstatic about it. You know, it's Wednesday. I'm not usually out on a Wednesday, but this was a really, really great treat to see them. You know, we usually see police officers very serious, and in their line of work they have to be, but it's also good to see them celebrate each other. They're your own little community within our wider Corozal community, and you get to see them in a different light. You get to see them celebrate each other, be happy for each other, and take some time out. There were a few police officers who are still on duty, who are not able to celebrate with the rest of the department, and that really, you know, puts you to think that when you're home safe in your bed, a lot of police officers are working, and they're working during all sorts of disasters, natural disasters, hurricanes. You know, somebody has to man the police station and keep us safe. And so it really puts into perspective that many of us will soon be celebrating Christmas and New Year's and Boxing Day, and police officers will be traveling to work, will be working long hours, and will, you know, while the rest of us are at home enjoying with our family and our friends and our loved ones, police officers will be on duty. So I ask everyone out there in the community, you know, say hi to a police officer today and let them know that they're special and that we value their work.
In a gesture of goodwill, each officer received a ham courtesy of Garcia Ramirez. Elmer Cornejo, Ctv3 News.
As Belizeans prepare for a general election, announcement from Prime Minister John Briceño, concerns over electoral division inequities are sparking debate and legal battles across the nation. A call for redistricting, arranging electoral divisions to ensure equal voter representation, has been championed by the Belize Peace Movement led by founder Will Mejia. Mejia voiced the urgency of the situation during a recent press conference, emphasizing that current electoral divisions remain unequal in size and voter count, undermining the tenets of Belize's constitution.
Earlier in the year, the Election and Boundaries had made a recommendation, and they took it to the House, and it's sitting there on a shelf somewhere. It was never debated. So we went back to court because we know that in 2025 there must be an election. And in 2020, the now government promised, like as soon as they get in, they would have redistricting. And it's been 4 years and no redistricting. So we just want that the government do the right thing according to the Constitution. It's the Constitution that's saying so. It's not so us. So we were surprised when they went for the big guns, all these top-notch liars that we, the taxpayers, will have to pay to try and keep the thing wrong, because it's wrong the way it is set up right now, where you have constituencies like Sand Creek West and Toledo East and West, that they are so huge compared to this small Belize City constituency. So, I mean, we just want the government to do the right thing. They promised they would do it in 2020. It's 4 years later, going 5 years later, and they still want to push it back. So we are asking the court to do the right thing and make the Constitution right. I mean, like to just follow the Constitution. I want to really applaud Sharon Pitts for taking on the case. I mean, we've contacted a number of Belizean attorneys who, you know, they don't want to piss off the government or things like that, so kind of like backed off. But, you know, Sharon believed that what we are doing is the right thing, and she had taken the court. And I want to use this opportunity to also appeal to any attorney that we may have missed to come join this case, because at the end of the day, this is for Belize. It's not for the peace movement. It is for all of us. And, you know, whenever corruption exists or whenever wrong exists, it's the whole country that suffers.
The push for redistricting is met with skepticism, particularly given the Belize peace movement's absence for parliamentary representation. Critiques arise over why the United Democratic Party, UDP, has yet to fund these endeavors to leverage potential political gains against the ruling People's United Party.
It's also amazing to me that you have the chamber, Belize Chamber, who is, you know, it's the businesses that will suffer because of these things, the churches, the NGOs. I mean, we expect that they would join this because they all want a better Belize. So I'm appealing to them, the unions, the churches, the chamber, the business bureau, all of those organizations to confront. Now that the government had brought their big guns out, they know that this is a matter of interest for all Belizeans. The UDP is in such turmoil that you would think the attorneys who support the UDP would jump on our bandwagon and say, hey, let's correct this situation once and for all, have a redivisioning, have a redistricting so that elections can be fair, free and fair. But when you have, like in Albert, where the constituency is a little more than 2,000 voters, and they're comfortable in their little nest there. But what happened to the people in Sand Creek West? And I expect that more people from the out districts would be outraged. I mean, we even contacted a former UDP attorney who was kicked out by the UDP in Orange Walk, and you know, we'd expect that he would jump on this, but even they refused to really jump on this case. But
Ctv3 News has confirmed that the GOB has retained legal heavyweights Eamon Courtney to represent the Attorney General's ministry and Godfrey Smith for the Elections and Boundaries Commission. Both attorneys are recognized figures in Belizean law, which raises questions about the GOB's commitment to addressing these disparities. In response to the government's legal strategy, the Belize Peace Movement has secured the services of Sharon Pitts, who is representing them pro bono. In this next story, we take a look at the country's external trade for the October 2024, as well as the total trade for the first 10 months of the year, shows that Belize's imports increased by 14% in October 2024, while exports took a hit, dropping by over $1.5 million. The Statistical Institute of Belize reported that imports reached $281.1 million compared to $246.6 million in October 2023, an increase of $34.5 million. Imports of machinery and transport equipment recorded a spike of 24.2%. The mineral fuels and lubricants category also grew by $9 million. Meanwhile, manufactured goods rose by $6.1 million due to higher imports of steel rods, plywood, and other construction materials. However, the chemical products category saw a decrease, dropping by $1.7 million due to lower fertilizer imports. For the first 10 months of 2024, Belize's total merchandise imports reached $2.448 billion, a 9.2% increase over the same period in 2023.
The total domestic imports for the first 10 months of the year amounted to $2.4 billion, up 9.2% or $206 million when compared to imports for the first 10 months of 2023. Looking at this graph, we can see how imports decreased in 2020, then skyrocketed after that. Currently, imports stood at $2.4 billion, which is considerably greater than that of imports before 2020. Let's look at the top categories that contributed to this overall increase in merchandise imports. It can be observed that machinery and transport equipment recorded a significant rise for the period, from $494.4 million to $614.5 million, a 24.3% or $120.1 million increase when compared to 2023. Followed by mineral fuels and lubricants, where increased imports of kerosene, diesel, premium gasoline, bunker C fuel, and liquefied petroleum gas were imported into the country, resulting in a $33.2 million increase in this category, from $337.6 million to $370.7 million.
In contrast, Belize's domestic exports for October 2024 fell by 5.4%. The SIB attributed this drop of $27.1 million from $28.6 million to lower sales of banana, sugar, and marine products. Banana exports saw a significant drop of $2.1 million, and sugar exports fell by the same amount. For the first 10 months of 2024, Belize's total exports reached $363.5 million, an increase of 1.5% compared to the same time period in 2023.
The total for the first 10 months of 2024 amounted to $363.5 million, representing a modest growth of 0.6% or $2 million compared to the same period in 2023. Looking at this graph, we can see how merchandise exports have been performing over the past years. In 2014 to 2016, exports experienced a significant downfall and has since been fluctuating. It is yet to record exports as that of 2014. Currently, for the period of January to October 2024, exports recorded a slight increase when compared to the same period in 2023. On the following slide, we will be able to see key exports with great performances for the period. However, there were also exports that underperformed, which tempered the overall increase in exports for the period. We can see on your left the top exports products that contributed to the overall increase in exports. Bananas experienced the largest increase, climbing from $50.9 million to $71.3 million. Other exports, including cattle and alcoholic beverages, went up by $9.2 million for the first 10 months of the year. Similarly, due to favorable prices for orange concentrate, the citrus products increased from $18.6 million to $26.9 million. These gains were tempered by declines in two major categories. Sugar fell by $18.5 million, from $147 million to $128.4 million, on account to the timing of shipments. Exports of animal feed dropped sharply, decreasing from $31.3 million to $11.5 million.
In months of the year, exports to CARICOM countries grew by $2.3 million due to higher sales of sugar and orange concentrate.
We observed that due to increased exports of both sugar and bananas, earnings from the United Kingdom went up by 46.6%. or 35.9 million, from 77.1 million to 113 million. Purchases of molasses, conch, and alcoholic beverages by the United States of America saw an increase of 21.6 million during the period, up from 69.5 million to 91.2 million. Purchases of orange concentrate from the CARICOM region recorded a rise for the period, with sales to this area rising by 11.6 million, from 69.5 million to 81.1 million.
And there is more news after the break. Stay tuned.
The Honorable John Briceño and Mrs. Rosanna Briceño request your presence at the first ever Prime Minister's Christmas concert to be held at the Open Air Plaza of the Banquitas House of Culture in Orange Walk Town on December 13th at 7 p.m. Join us for a night of beautiful music and company as together we celebrate the joy and fellowship of the Christmas season. Music will be provided by Belize's renowned National Choir and Ensemble, comprised of the Golden Voices Choir, directed by Giselle O'Brien, and the UB Chorale, directed by Alexander Evans. Remember, it's the Banquitas House of Culture Open Air Plaza on Friday, December 13th at 7 p.m. It'll be an amazing and unforgettable night of music and love, and of course, our special guest, Santa Claus. All are welcome. We'll see you there.
Santa baby, just set a bottle under the tree for me. Make it coconut, please. Santa baby, sip some Caribbean rum tonight. Santa baby, a bottle of cold rum would do so smooth. I'll leave one out for you, Santa baby. Sip some Caribbean rum tonight. So sip some Caribbean rum tonight. Sip some Caribbean rum tonight. Merry and bright.
Today, the government of Belize's Anti-Trafficking in Persons Council hosted an important stakeholders forum. Key partners gathered to discuss actionable steps for addressing the recommendations from the latest U.S. Trafficking in Persons report. Foreign Affairs Officer Harold Johnson provided technical background on preparing the annual report during the proceedings. The U.S. Embassy in Belmopan reaffirmed its strong commitment to supporting Belize in a fight against human trafficking, highlighting the importance of continued collaboration both locally and globally. Together, we can make meaningful strides in protecting vulnerable individuals and ensuring justice for those affected by human trafficking, the U.S. Embassy said. The second annual National Anti-Corruption Conference was successfully held on Monday, December 10th at the Best Western Plus Plaza in Belize City. Spearheaded by the Good Governance Unit, GGU, under the Ministry of Public Service, Constitutional and Political Reform and Religious Affairs, the event was organized in collaboration with the United States Department of State's International Narcotics and Law Enforcement Affairs, INL. The conference brought together key stakeholders from government, civil society, and international organizations to unite under the theme, Empowered by Choice, United by Voice, Belize Against Corruption. The morning session commenced with presentations on the following topics: onboarding civil asset recovery and anti-money laundering by the Financial Intelligence Unit, developments in open contracting and procurement by the Contractor General, updates from the Ombudsman and the National Human Rights Institute, Following the presentations, a discussion was held where panelists addressed questions from the audience, fostering constructive dialogue and valuable exchanges of ideas. The afternoon session emphasized partnerships and capacity building of public officers at the national and municipal levels. The United Nations Development Programme (UNDP) highlighted initiatives for good governance and collaboration with the GGU through the CARSI grant in the central government. A professor from Yale University delivered a compelling presentation on the topic Capacity Building for Anti-Corruption at the Municipal Level, engaging mayors from across the country during a vibrant question and answer session. Participants were then invited to roundtable discussions on subjects including civil asset recovery and anti-money laundering initiative, open contracting and procurement, and the role of the Ombudsman and national human rights initiatives. These discussions encourage deep dives into tackling challenges and creative opportunities to advance Belize's anti-corruption agenda. The event concluded with presentations summarizing the outcomes of the roundtable discussions. A heartfelt thanks were extended to all presenters, moderators, and guests who contributed to the success of this year's conference. Through the GGU, the Ministry of Public Service, Constitutional and Political Reform and Religious Affairs reaffirmed its commitment to combating corruption and strengthening transparency, accountability, and good governance across Belize. As highlighted throughout the day, empowering citizens and fostering collaborative partnerships remain pivotal to this effort. And that's the news. We invite you to join us for another newscast on Friday, December 13th, here on Ctv3 News and Fiesta FM 106.7. Remember that to read a text version of the news, you can visit our website at ctv3belizenews.com. You can also log on to our Facebook page for current stories at facebook.com/CTV3 Belize News or our YouTube channel at CTV3 News BZ. From all of us here at CTV3 News, thank you for watching and listening. Good night.